Hello everybody, this is Kristy and welcome to my channel. To all the new subscribers, if you've come to my channel, and thank you very much for everybody that's still here. What I wanted to do was, I think I showed this little basket ages ago, but I thought I might do a little project. I had to think what it was called. And so what's different about this is I've used Suffolk puffs, and I think I showed it in a video once before, but I actually haven't shown how to construct it. It is fairly simple, but you know what? Some people like the idea of seeing things made, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to make one of these. First of all, I've got my base fabric, which is just 5 bits of fabric, and they're not square, but that's okay. I'm going to leave it as they are, as a rectangle, because I don't want to waste the fabric. So I want to start with the base first. So the base, I'm going to actually cover it with this. I need to use up this fabric, and that's actually going to be quite perfect on there. So let me get my scissors. I don't want to look to see what's on the underneath. I just want to use it. That's the trouble half the time when I'm using fabric. I scrutinise the fabric too much. That's a big word for me. And I don't get things done because I'm worried that it's not going to be nice or whatever. I think sometimes it's the nicest of things are the ones where you don't think too much about it. You just do it. So I'm going to cut all the way, so that's left. I might even pop these tiny little pieces because I only have a small bit left. That was left over from my other project that I did with a book. I just need to put this lid on here before I lose it. So I'm going to, it's got a lovely cup of tea on the bottom. So this is going to be the base of my it's going to be the outside or the inside. Oh, I don't know now. Maybe it will be the inside. Yeah, I think I'll have this as the inside, so then I can look into it like that. And then for the outside, I'm going to do scrappy. So I've got lots of bits and pieces. So what I might do is, you know what? I have a big piece of this. I'm going to use this as the base as well. So let me take off a piece of fabric the same as this. Just about there. I think I should have just cut it. I don't know if you can see that. Might bring you down this way a little bit more. Oh, hello, Milky Boy. My cat's come to say hello. He's a very talkative boy. Aren't you, Milky? Okay. Good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my machine, I think. This time I'm going to use my machine just a little bit, and then I might come and canthus stitch over the top, or just do some light running stitches, but I think I'm going to use my sewing machines. Well, that's not the right way. So that's the right way. But what I want to do is do the lining and the other do the lining, so that's going to go in for the lining. I've just thought of something just then. Do the lining separate to the outside. Here I joined 2 pieces together because I didn't have a full piece, and I thought, oh well, doesn't matter, it's just the bottom. So that's going to be that one. So that's the lining. So I'll just pin that together. Where did my pins go? Sorry about my jumper. It's a bit cold today. what I might do, I could just sew hand stitch across there and leave the words. Well, my cat was here. Oh no, he's gone over there. Right, let's get another piece of fabric. Now you could, if you wanted to, just sew a couple of bits of big pieces on there, like that. Which is not a bad idea, actually. Let me see if I have another piece that will go across. Put that up the top. I could sit that, put that there. Cut off this bit here. Leave that there. I hate wasting all that fabric just for that. Oh, you can't come on my lap. Mummy's sewing. You can't. I know, just wait. I'm just going to plug you in so I don't lose battery. Oh, come on then. It's going to be very hard to sew with you on my lap. Right. Just stay there. Oh, I know what he wants. He wants my biscuit. I don't have any, do I? No. Okay. Let's not worry about the extra fabric. I've got fabric coming out my ear holes. So, I don't know if I like that on there. I think that's going to be a separate piece altogether. That could just be a piece like that. And sit there. Charlie, you're not making it very easy for Mummy. Right, you know what? I don't like all that. I like the bits of fabric that just get cut up and put on. Like that. I'm going to chop that there. I like that yellow piece. I wonder if sometimes these pieces are too big. No. Gee, this is not working today, is it? Usually I don't have a hard time trying to balance all these fabrics out. Maybe it's the brown. There, that looks good there. Maybe this one is just too big. Yeah, I think so. That actually looks better, like that. I'll have a little bit of script. Up there in the corner. Let's put that down there. Sometimes these things are here to try us, but we must persist with putting our fabrics down See, that doesn't join and that there. Let's not worry about that. I thought I had a little bit of liberty. Does that go up there? That might be better there. That might be better there in the middle. Sometimes this is harder than you think. It doesn't always work out. What you think works at the time, it actually doesn't. Let's bring that down. This is taking a lot longer than I wanted it to. There. Right. Do I need a piece up the top there, Charlie? Can you help me out? Let's just cut this bit. What? And I don't always cut enough, but I could stitch over that. All right, let's leave that there. There's too much thought going in that process, so I need to just leave that. I've got 4 more to do, and I probably don't need to do it all on camera with you. Now I'm stuck to the mat. That might not work down there, so that's a thinkable, because I already have that colour in it anyway. Make sure you have your fabrics go over the back as best you can, and then you can just chop them off. All right, so that's not working there. That needs something over that. It needs a little pop of something, doesn't it? There's a pop of something, but nope, that can go on another page. So we can have 3 pops of colour. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe this needs to be moved because this is already... I wonder if I have another piece or I go that way and turn it round this way. But then everything else needs to go that way, doesn't it? Oh, it's just not working. Right, let's move that up. Put that on there. And we'll find a strip for down here. We just need a strip of fabric. No, that brown doesn't work. Does the blue work? Maybe that blue works there. Let's get rid of all that thread. Right, let's try and use that on another piece. Yep, that looks good. I like that. So let's just, I was going to say peg it down, pin it down, and I can fix up all the bits later on. Right, so that's one done. And I'll do one more with you, and then we'll leave it at that, and I'll come back. I just need a drink, one moment. Let's get another one. Right, I'm going to try and take away the fabrics that I have already used. Now I've got to remember which side this is going up. It's going up. The longer side is going to be the, you know, the tall part. So I have to have everything that way. Right. Let's put the butterfly on. It can go in the middle. And maybe this piece here. What have we got? We've got a bit of this. So this can be a pop of colour. Let me just chop this off. Bit of Liberty. That can go in the corner there. That's another Liberty. Where's those other pops of colour? 1, 2. Oh no, this can be a pop of colour. Oh. That can be a, right, so have, oh no, 1, 2, 3. How am I doing? Oh no, oh my gosh, I'm getting confused. Right, we didn't do a pop of colour really, did we? We can do that there, couldn't we? So that's a pop of colour there, a pop of colour here, and these two will be my other pop of colours. No, that's not going to work because it's too short. Charlie, you really are making it difficult for me to do anything. Since we lost Penny, he's been a very sooky la la dog. Right, I like that. So let's pop that in there. That's perfect. And we'll put that over the top. See how some things just go together when you put them down. Put that under there. And what I might do is come back and embellish this. So really, this is my foundation piece of stitching. And then you come back and put other things over the top. Flowers and lace and all sorts of things. Now these have moved, so when I do sew it, I'll have to make sure that they're all together. And I'll give it a proper iron. So that's that one. Maybe I can continue on since I'm on a roll now, I think. Right, let's put this in the middle for, oh, hang on. Let's put her in the middle and then we can just fit things around her. Do I want that whole piece on there? Charlie, you'll get squished at the top. Yep, let's just do that. And where's my pop of colour? Which one will I use? Not that, but that can go there, even though I think I've used that before. Pop of colour. Could go right there. And a brown flower. Can go there. I'm trying not to think about it. Try not to think about it. Oops, I'm just tied to the thing. And again. And I need an extra little piece. What have we got there? Oh, we've got this here. I like that idea. Probably cut it a bit too short. Yes, I know. I know I cut it from that end, didn't I? And there goes the dilemma. Maybe that fits better on that side. I was going great guns until I could figure out what I want to put there. Maybe that might be all right. I'll leave it there for now with that one. Oh, that's done. Ow! Stab myself with the pins. Right, I have this here. It's a bit textured, but that piece could work under there. So if I move that over, that could go over the top there. No, that could go over the top. Let's put that under there. Let's cut this off. Do I cut it off? People have been folding theirs. I quite like the raw edge. But I want that flower. Right, I'm going to chop that. I could still use that tiny bit for something, because you can use it when you just sort of find a fill-in pit, you know, where you cross that over there like that. But that doesn't work, so I'll keep that for later. Right, let's put that down there. Oh, that's better, look at that. Okay, let's pin that before I change my mind. You know, that can go in the bin. It's just not working. Oh, that one's a big, sharp one. I don't like that one. Sorry, Weena. Well, if you sit on Mummy's tummy, you're going to get a bit squashed against the table. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, no, 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. So did we lose our pop of colour? What was it going to be? Oh, this was our pop of colour, this one here. So let's chop this little pop of colour in half, because I only want it tiny. Let's go this here. I haven't used that. I haven't used that one. So let's cut there. Oopsie daisy. I think it's good to get fabrics out of your stash, certain fabrics that you like, and just use those particular ones, because you can get very overwhelmed with, I know I do, sorry Weena, you get very overwhelmed with all the fabrics that you've got. So try and remember just to grab, you know, a handful of fabrics and go from there. I've used that. I haven't used this one yet. This might be just a 4-corner one, who knows? Oh, I had something here. I had this here, didn't I? Might just chop the bottom off that. That can sit in the middle. And basically I've got to find a 4-corner for there. I've already used that, haven't I? That, I've used that one. Oops, here's some more over here. Let's use maybe this one here. Let's use that. And it's good to have fabrics just fold over the edge, over each other. Right. And we need the pop of colour, don't we? Which was this one here. Might just fold that over. I'd bring that down, or move it up. No. There, let's move it up, and let's just pop that one down there. Like I said, don't have any thought into it too much, or you'll be there all day. Right, pins in, and then I'll be back with this sewn. I think I might just do a quick running stitch on the machine. Oh, I know. Well, if you're going to sit on my lap, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get a little bit squished. So I will be back with all my 4 pieces. That's 1, 2, make sure they're up the right way. Let's put a pin in there. Oh. Pins are tricky in your hands. 3, that's that way, and 4, and my bottom of the inside, that's the lining, but then my outside of there is that. All right, so I'll be back. Here we are, all stitched up. So I've stitched that on the machine, and these 4, and then what I've also done is I've just added a little bit of an element on the top. It was thread bunnies, and these are what you use when you're sewing on your machine just before you sew your actual garment or your piece of fabric together. It starts the machine off and just creates a stitch. So I thought, oh, I can use these on my little bag. So that's those 2 embellished on there. I'm not going to put too much on. And these obviously are canthus stitching from my blanket that I have. So we want to make sure that they're all up the right way. That one goes up there, that one, and I've just realised I've covered her up. Oh, damn it. What I might do is just snip this off a little bit. I forgot I covered the lady up. There, that'll do. I'm not going to cut it now. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch these with my sewing machine this time. You can do it with a running stitch by hand stitching, and that's how I made this one here. This one is all hand stitched, so I'll be back. Done all the sides. That's what it looks like inside. So this, I sewed all 4 together, so it was like a cylinder, and then I sewed the bottom on. Did a 1/4 inch seam, and then all I did was made sure, because it's a bit tricky doing corners in a square, but I laid this one down and come in a 1/4 inch, and sew all the way down and stop a 1/4 inch before the edge, and did the same. Laid it flat, sewed, stopped, turn, sewed, stopped and turn and sewed. So there's the bag. So now I've just got to turn it in the right way, and just if you do it on the sewing machine or even by hand, make sure that you get your corners, your fabric tucked in at the bottom, because one was sticking up, or actually it wasn't in the seam. That bit's okay, but there was this one here was not in the seam, so I had to unpick that bit and just sew there. So that's that. So that ends up looking like that, much bigger than this one. And then this is the lining. So now I'm going to pop the lining in. And hopefully they all meet up. But what I'm going to do is make sure that the lining is in there secure, or flat I should say. There's nothing I can put in there to, oh no, I'll put this in there. Actually no, I won't. I'll put the I've got the big one. I'll put that in there just to make it flat down in there, so it holds that, so I can attach the top. So what I was wanting to do was fold that down. Actually what I'm going to do is pin that first. so all the corners meet at each corner. Just make sure it's flat. Yep. Ow, don't stick it in your finger. Ow, ow. Make sure there's enough fabric there. That did hurt my finger. There, look. Oh, right, don't get blood on the fabric. And another one. Right, that should be good there. So I can take that out now. Is that down a bit more? No. Just let me fix up this bit here. Now we're good. So what I want to do is turn down that and then turn that down, and then that becomes our top edge. You lick your fingers to help roll down the fabric, and then you just turn down the top like that. And that becomes like the edge binding, but already built into your fabric. Built into your box, I mean. Don't have to be precise. Just got to fold it down. It'll all work out in the wash. If it's not right, come out in the wash in the right way. So as long as the seams are all aligned, you can adjust how you can pull it right down, or you can adjust it and just have it sit up there. If it's a little bit crooked, nothing wrong with being crooked. Pull that out. See, now that's being crooked in itself. Probably because I didn't straighten it when I went along like that. And I'm going to put this on my sewing machine and stitch all the way around the edge. It's got a little bit more on it than normal, so I'll give that one a little bit extra fabric inside, I think. And there we have it. There's the inside of my little bag, and then your Suffolk puffs are going to go on the top like that. So what I might do is I will sew on my Suffolk puffs with the machine. Obviously all this is can be hand sewed as I did this one here. So I'm going to sew that down and put these on at the same time, and then I'll come back and we can sew in the string, which I have a bit of string here or ribbon, and then that will be the finish. So I'll be back. It's all sewn now, so now all I've got to do is put in my cord, but all I found is just an old piece of butterfly type batik fabric, so I'm just going to use that. So to get it through, you'd probably need a safety pin. I did have one, but I don't know where it went. Remember I had one this morning. Oh, there goes some stuff for my Kate in the Nest bag. I did have it. I did. Right, I'll just have to stop the video and find it. Got my bobby pin. Right, so I'll try and sew it in with the right side. Let's see if this works. I know it did on the other one, but I'm using fabric this time. But I don't really want to close the bag, it just is a good handle. Maybe I won't have enough. Okay. I'll tie the... what am I going to do there? It's a bit small to tie it. Let's see if I can. Right, got the little knot. Yeah, I suppose it'll work. Right, let's do the other one. There it is. Now you've got to feed it this way. I'll feed it on the inside. Now, like I said, it might not work because it's quite a thick fabric. I might need to make it thinner. I'm thinking that these things are supposed to go on the corners. Maybe that's where I went wrong. Because when you close it up, it goes a bit sideways. Right. Might have a different way of closing them up, I think. Because I'm losing a lot of fabric by tying it up. Could put a dingle dangle on the ends, couldn't I? I've got some of those. Right, so there is the bag ready to go with my other little one. It's quite big, this one here, which is fine. And if you really wanted to embellish more, you just take out the centre. And stitch. So let's close it up. Oh, that works well. I'm just going to leave that now. So there's one. Fabric works actually really good because this is a bit slippery. And there's two. And there's my little bags. You can't see, sorry about that. So there's 1 and 2. Takes a bit to open these up, that one, but that's okay. This one's easier because it's ribbon, so it's a little more slippery. There we go. This one has more on it. And then if we want to shut it, just pull it tight. The Suffolk puffs work well. Where's the end of this one gone? There it is. We close it up. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little quick project. Sally wanted to see how mine was made, and I hope you make one too. And if you do, share it over in the Facebook group Sewbits-Kristy and just answer a few questions, and I'd love to see your makes. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.